Would like to lead off this morning's video by sharing some absolutely wonderful news. The First Lady of Florida has been declared cancer-free. Our God is an awesome God, and He is faithful in all things. Her and her husband multiple times on public platforms have declared the power of Almighty God, and now He has come through. So congratulations to the DeSantises and to their children. Florida has a very bright future. Some, however, have taken this opportunity to try to call our governor a bully, and it has backfired spectacularly. There's something I'm going to share with you today that should give you an insight into what's really going on with the left right now. Now, recently he was at this press conference at USF, and there was some young men getting ready to go out of high school into college, and he, of course, invited them to come up and stand behind the podium as he spoke. Well, they decided to play the little mask theater game, and he said he wasn't having it. He walked out and said, "It's ridiculous. It is absolutely ridiculous. It's not doing anything. Stop with the COVID theater." Now, 2 of the kids took off masks, 2 didn't. Now, the left has tried to come out and call him a bully and say that it's so horrible. Well, WFLA News, NBC affiliate, liberal NBC, on blue checkmark Twitter, put out a poll saying, in the video from USF, do you think Governor DeSantis was rude or bullied the students wearing masks? Now, this is WFLA, NBC, liberal NBC affiliate. On blue checkmark Twitter, meaning liberal Twitter, 91.5% of the people responding out of 40,000 votes said no. He was not bullying the students, nor was he rude. They are flummoxed over there. They can't understand it. They're a liberal news outlet on a liberal platform, Twitter. 91.5% of the people who saw the video said no, those young men were not being bullied. The governor was telling them exactly the truth. It's time for COVID theater to end. They also don't understand this Real Clear Politics poll. Florida Senate, Marco Rubio versus Val Demings, plus 12. Florida Governor Ron DeSantis versus Charlie Crist, plus 21. Versus Nikki Fried, plus 23. It's not even close. And this is, once again, Real Clear Politics is pretty liberal leaning. It's probably worse than this. It's probably something more like 30 points. That's how lopsided it is. Why can't the left see? Because the left isn't thinking. The left has made a cottage industry out of not thinking. All they do is feel, and then they look at their feelings, they assess their feelings, and then they talk about how their feelings are affecting them. And they call that thought. If you'd like to get read in on how to not do that and catch yourself doing that, because even those on the right now are starting to do it with this whole malarkey with Ukraine. It's all emotionally driven nonsense. They're pushing an agenda. When you hear the Democrats at a State of the Union speech start chanting USA, USA, and pro-war themes like that, it's time to back away slowly. We would love to have you over at Patreon, $1 per month, even less if you sign up for an entire year. Fully refundable. Many of you have. God bless you for doing so. I really do appreciate it. Now, some of you have taken issue with my stance on Bitcoin, saying, Bitcoin's kind of come back a little bit, Mikey. Are you sure you want to stand by this notion of it going to zero? Yeah, absolutely do. In fact, I have proof today that one of my analogies is spot on. There's a real world event that has just happened, a story over at Business Insider that literally could have been lifted from one of my videos. One day, there are going to be people wake up and their crypto wallets will not be accessible in the sense that they're not going to be able to turn their whatever crypto of choice into usable dollars. You see, this is the part that they don't get. They'll still have their Bitcoin, but if they try to convert it into any usable currency, it's going to get seized. And that's what they're going to do because they're already starting to talk about this now. And they've done it before. Pardon me there for just 1 minute. Now, those of you wondering about the analogy that I'm speaking of, it had to do with the series Black Sails. I was watching this series and I saw a very strange parallel to the real world, and I've done probably 6 or 8 videos talking about this. Just the real quick cliff notes on this. There was a character. Max was her name in Black Sails. That's the actress Jessica Parker Kennedy. And she worked in a brothel during the golden age of piracy in the West Indies. And they went and raided a ship full of gold, these pirates. And so all of these pirates were super wealthy, and she saw something coming. She's like, you know, working in this brothel now, we have all these pirates, we're making a bunch of money. Just real quick, though, the West Indies, place fueled by plunder. It's basically the Caribbean. The Urca de Lima, by the way, is an actual real shipwreck off the coast of Port St. Lucie in Florida. Now, the details are a little different than what they make in the series, but it's still a real place. Now, these pirates, the shipwrecks on a beach, they go raid all of this gold. They bring it back to the brothel and the inn, and doing what pirates do, they spend it on, you know, women who work in brothels. And so the women are getting very, very wealthy, but it's Spanish gold. And this woman realizes they're going to eventually come for this Spanish gold, and they're just going to take it from us. We have to find a way to convert this gold into something else that is worth value, but something the Spanish won't be able to take from us. We have to divest ourselves of the Spanish gold. That's the analogy for the dollar. That's what crypto pirates do. But eventually it all falls apart. Now, she was very low level, did what she had to do. She saved her money, but she also paid attention and listened for information about things, and she parlayed that information into a position where she never had to work in a brothel again. But here's the key. She ended up owning the brothel, and she had to have women work for her. This is the analogy that nobody is seeing with Bitcoin. The Bitcoin pirates are really kind of more like pimps and madams right now. Because you see, they made their money, but to keep their money, they've got to keep other people under their thumb. Now, here is the analogy. Here's the real world story that's going to blow your mind. A 38-year-old crypto investor who never has to work again says she sees the crypto crash as an opportunity. This is one of the big pushbacks that I get. That buy the dip, buy the dip. Notice they never say mine the dip. But the details of this article should make you ask questions. Quote from her. Fortunately, I have no financial constraints. Her name is Eliza Spiess, founder of crypto advisory firm Femme Capital. She spoke about whether you should invest in Bitcoin now and a more exciting blockchain platform. Now listen to this. A few years ago, Eliza Spiess, I hope I'm saying this right, was at a crypto conference in New York. There she saw one 20-something after another getting out of Lamborghinis. She told us not a single woman pulled up in a luxury car. That was the moment when I thought something really has to change. She wanted a Lamborghini of her own. Spiess recognized that the crypto scene is dominated by men. Even before this event, she explained in an interview with Insider. She said her former roommate in Berlin told her about Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies in 2012, well before the hype. She was thrilled and began to look into the topic. At the time, It was almost exclusively men who invested, said the 38-year-old. Women, unfortunately, didn't dare. Spies dared, however, and with success. I managed to become financially free, she said. Anyone who invested in Bitcoin 5 years ago, for example, is likely to enjoy a return of almost 3,300% today. Stop the presses right there. You talk to any actual investment firm and you tell them that you made 3,300% in 5 years, they're going to say, oh, you got in on a scam. Ask any crypto person today if they plan on crypto seeing a 3,300% increase in the next 5 years. That would mean Bitcoin would go from, if I've done my math right, 40,000 US dollars per coin to, I believe, 1.3 million per coin. You see, that would have to be what they would sell you. That would have to be the idea they would sell you. I, too, want to lay in a hammock on a sunny day near a mountain and scroll my phone and be financially free. See, the only reason she's not worried about the crypto markets right now is because she pulled most of her money out of it. Because there's no way she would be financially stable if her money was going up and down. This is the 1 day right now. Here's the 5 day. It looks like it's up 8%, but look at every other metric. Down 2% in the last month. Down 18% in the past 6 months. Down 14% year to date. Down 16% in the last year. How does this jive with up 3,300%? See, this is the exact same thing that happened back here in the West Indies during the golden age of piracy. Yeah, if you got in with the pirates who initially got the gold, yeah, you went from being dirt poor pirate to being wealthy beyond all measure. But eventually they came and got the gold. And if you didn't divest yourself of the gold or put it in something else, you were in trouble. Ask them. Ask any crypto person who's trying to sell you any kind of crypto, do you plan on seeing a 3,300% increase in the next 5 years? Because I read an article or I watched the Florida Mucky and he showed somebody who had that. Can you promise me anything like that? Ask them if they can promise you 10% every year for the next 10 years. Ask them if they can promise you 5% for the next 20. I guarantee they won't. You see, unlike this issue here, you see, at least pimps and madams give you the idea of some type of security that somebody's got your back while you're doing whatever it is you got to do to make your money. No such thing with any crypto. You could lose it all tomorrow. And they'd say, well, that's just the way things go. No insurance. No refunds. No guarantees of any kind. Bitcoin price, more volatile right now amid war in Ukraine. Here's how investors should react. Wait a minute. I thought it was a hedge against inflation. Bitcoin returns to test 40,000 as macro factors pile up to squash Bitcoin bulls. But what are macro factors? Ask one of your Bitcoin crypto advisors. What's a macro factor? I thought it was insulated against inflation. I thought it was something where if I put my money into it, I would be protected against the... Yeah. No. You see, this is the game that's being played right now. You're either on the side of Ukraine, which is, of course, the mainstream media narrative, or you should feel shame. You're either behind Joe Biden or you should feel shame. You're either for cryptocurrency or you should feel shame. See, it's all about feelings. Nobody wants anyone thinking about anything anymore. Just How am I going to feel? How are those around me going to feel? They look like they're feeling happy. I want to feel happy too. If you want to stop assessing your feelings and live a thought-based life, join us over at Patreon. $1 a month. Not per video, not per week, fully refundable. Even less if you sign up for a year. We've already got, just in the last 2 months, I think 13 or 14 videos. And there's a library going back 4 years of close to 100, talking about all the 24, 24 cognitive biases, 24 logical fallacies that will get you out of your emotional self and get you into your thinking self. So, this is what happens when you operate emotionally. They put up this poll thinking that they were going to have some type of a piece of evidence that they could use to club the governor. And it backfired. Wildly backfired. This is on a blue platform, a liberal Democrat-run platform, Twitter, from an NBC affiliate. And every Democrat in Florida is out there, oh, governor's a bully, the governor's a bully. They do a poll. 91.5% of the people on this platform say, no, he wasn't being a bully. Not at all. It's time for the mask theater to be done. But once again, congratulations, Mrs. DeSantis, pardon me. Fantastic news. Fantastic news. God is great. God bless. Pray for each other, lift each other up, like, share, subscribe, and we'll see you guys next time.